Well, everybody, 'tis the season for companies to blow their entire advertising budget in a month and a half. One of these companies is a boutique cast iron company named Smithey, and for whatever reason, they've been aggressively marketing towards me. So let's check out their website. They sell American-made cast iron and carbon steel pans, which is pretty cool, right? Their website is really well done and their product lines look absolutely fantastic, but eventually you'll end up clicking on one of their products and $150 for a 10-inch cast iron skillet? Are you kidding? And yeah, their product photos look great, and their marketing campaign makes it feel like you need this, but a 10-inch skillet only has a 6-inch cooking surface. So they're going to need to justify this. And that's when we get to the case for our cast iron section. Let's see if they can convince me. Number 1. You can use it anywhere. Cast iron is an alloy of iron and carbon with a couple other things mixed in. So yeah, you can use any piece of cast iron cookware anywhere within reason. It's literally just a big hunk of metal. Number 2. Invest in your kitchen. I'm going to let you in on a little secret that Big Cast Iron probably doesn't want you to know. Cast iron is super cheap to produce. To check that out, let's head over to the Lodge. They're another American-made cast iron company, and they're also selling a 10 1/4 inch skillet that's pre-seasoned that looks pretty similar to the one that Smithey is offering. Only theirs is under $20, not $150. So yeah, you can invest in your kitchen with cast iron, but for a fraction of the price. Number 3. The perfect weight. Cast iron is notoriously heavy, but people love it because that weight leads to a number of benefits like heat retention. We can see that Smithey's 10-inch skillet weighs in at a whopping 5 pounds, so not exactly light. Let's check out the Lodge. Their skillet only comes in at a little over 5.5 pounds, which is more, sure, but if your base weight is 5 pounds, I don't think an extra half of a pound is going to have much impact. Number 4. It's easy to clean because it's polished. If you're familiar with cast iron at all, you'll notice that I'm holding a carbon steel pan, not a cast iron one, but both of them have layers of carbonized oil, or seasoning, on them, which are responsible for their non-stick properties. I'm going to sand that seasoning off, and if you'd like to follow along at home, you'll need a low-grit sandpaper and a respirator to protect you when sanding metal. Just make small circles on the pan with your sandpaper, and with a bit of patience, the seasoning comes off easily. I've been sanding for a couple minutes, and most of the seasoning has been removed, but now you can see that there are a number of little divots on the surface. This is a rough surface, which is different than the polished surface that Smithey offers. This rough surface is a relatively new thing, and it's done because seasoning can stick to it much more easily. The thing is, if you like the look of polished cast iron, you can easily polish it at home with sandpaper. I wouldn't do this by hand, but if we head over to Amazon, you can get a random orbital sander and enough sandpaper to polish quite a few cast iron pans for around $60. Or even better, find an antique piece of cast iron with a polished surface. So no, still not worth it, and Smithey is unique but not for a great reason. Number 5. Additional considerations. The Smithey cast iron looks fantastic. It's much more aesthetically pleasing than the Lodge, at least to me. The Smithey pan also has a different profile when compared to the Lodge, which means you get less cooking surface, but food can move more easily. Now, I've never had an issue with food movement using Lodge products, but hey, regardless, something to keep in mind. Many high-end kitchen gadgets are pushed on people during this time of year, but don't be fooled. The more expensive option is rarely better, and that money is almost always going to be better spent on good ingredients. Shop smart this season, but more importantly, have fun making good food. Happy cooking!